Hi, welcome to today's series. So I've just finished a full day in the studio and I'm just going to have a little bit of time to myself before I go home, just putting all the good work into my own body that I have shared with others. So come along and just see the simple things that I do just to make sure that my body is mobile, and hopefully yours works the same. So just beginning lying down onto my back. And just setting yourself up. Remember, if something's in the way, like a hair clip, move it out. And I'm going to start with my left knee, just pull gently in towards me. And then I'm going to lengthen the right leg out along the floor surface. So here, just feeling the back body just settling into the mat surface from the back of my head, my shoulders, my ribs, and my pelvis. Pulling the knee in toward me like that is just going to just rebalance my hips a little bit. And then we're going to take a hold, right hand over the left thigh, and open your left arm to the side and do just a gentle twist. So we'll start with the left foot on top of the right thigh, just for a bit of contact, as you turn your knee towards the right and then turn your head toward the left and looking down over the arm. Now you can have your eyes closed or your eyes open, just taking in a few breaths into the side of your body. And then we'll bring the leg back again. So we're going to do that again. And this time, if you feel you've got the range, you can always put your foot on the floor and then twisting into the stretch. But what you don't want is to feel like you're forcing your body to get to a range that it may not be ready for. Again, just hanging out for a little bit of twisting time, a little bit of breathing time. And then back to the start again. So we do that one more time as we go over to the side, letting your foot rest, turning your head away from your knee side. And then traveling back into the center again. From here, you're going to grab a hold of that knee again with your left hand, and you're going to bring it under towards the underarm on the left side. So it's not in the chest like we were before. It's now moved slightly off to the side and just getting a little pull up towards your shoulder. If you've got flexibility to hold underneath the knee, you can do that and feel like you're really supporting that leg, feeling it coming up toward you. Again, you want that right leg to just be nice and long, stretched out onto the mat surface. So we're just getting into all our different ranges through our hips as we open up through the pelvis. And again, just feeling that back body really rested on the floor. And then undoing that, we'll keep this left leg for one more time, and we're going to bring our right knee forward. So you've hooked your left ankle over your right leg. Now you can do many different variations here. The one I'm going to do today is take my right hand over my ankle and knee and take my left arm over the top of my shin and reach towards my right hand. And then I'm just going to pull that leg in towards me, feeling the weight of my body sinking onto the floor. My hips are being very stretched. So as a Pilates teacher, we often do demonstration through most of our hours in the studio, and we favor one side over the other, just like anybody else. But it means that we sometimes walk away with having worked one side of our body a little bit more than the other. So these stretches are great to do just to sort of finish off your day. And then resting out of that. And then we just lie the two legs down next to each other. So we have a slight comparison between our two sides and just noticing what the left side of you is feeling like. And once you've got an idea of that there's been some sort of a change perhaps, we'll go ahead and start it all now on the right. So bringing the right knee in, again, nothing is forced. You just want to feel a softening through the front of your hip, kind of like a tablecloth folding, that sort of softness in the hip. So there shouldn't be that sense of jarring or overly pushing. Just relax. It's the end of the day, no problem. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the left hand across the right knee, right arm open sideways. Start with your foot touching onto your thigh and then allowing the leg to turn down to the left. Turning your eye gaze over towards the right. And again, if this is too intense, keep your eyes looking forward. It's also an option. And then coming back through to the center. So as we repeat that, if you've got the will and the capacity, then just placing your toes on the floor as your anchor and then going over. looking to the side again. And, it's tempting to want to sort of push into something that you feel, oh, I'm going to get a crack. No, just go where you can feel relaxed through the body. If the crack's going to happen, it's going to happen. And then back to your start. And then we've got one more time like that, just feeding the leg gently over the body. Nothing is forced. So even with the left hand down onto the knee, we're not sort of pushing to the ground surface. See if you can take a breath into sort of the underarm and top rib section on the right. And then coming back through the center, we're going to take the right hand holding over the top of the knee line, pull it just off the right side and then up towards your underarm. Left hand can just rest onto your hip or down onto your leg. Be mindful of what your neck wants to do. When we're in positions where it's not so easy, the body will contract and your neck will start to seize up and your chin to the ceiling. So we want to keep all of that nice and long. Again, if you feel like you want to try and give it an underarm grip, so the knee is just resting over the top of the forearm, that's also a possibility. And then one more breath there, in and out. And then we're going to take this leg across our body into our figure 4 stretch. So if you've not done this version with me before, give it a try. So we take the left hand around and over on top of the knee, and then the other one crosses over the top of the shin to meet the hands. So it's slightly different positioning through the arms, but really nice and deep for the hip on the right. So when we're in this figure 4, often we feel like the pelvis is going to be tipped up away from the mat. So to make things more intense for you, why don't you just feel like you roll the pelvis more flat? And that's going to produce new tension for you, new stretch. And then again, letting all of that go. So placing the feet back down onto the mat. Now that we've opened up through the hips, we're going to take ourselves into a little bridge. So just a tilting back through the movement of your pelvis and up into the air. And then feeling equal through the 2 feet and then rolling the spine down towards the mat. And as you come up again, we're going to change what we do. Remember, you can always stay with just the bridging motion. I'm going to inhale and send my arms all the way over behind, and then exhale and roll the spine down, and then inhale the arms to my side. So exhale as we peel away from the floor. Inhale as we take them over with the arms. Exhale coming down the center of the mat, and then inhale the arms to the side. Just one more like that, rolling up, arms traveling over, and then spine coming down, and arms coming back down. All right, from here I'm just going to flip over onto my side. So lining myself up with the back edge of the mat, so head, shoulders, pelvis, feet, and then hands laced behind the back of the head. From here we're going to rotate again. This time I'm using the upper body to do the twisting backward and feeling like my knees are facing towards the front, and then bringing everything closed again. And again, opening the elbow to the ceiling, twisting the chest bone up to find the sky, and then closing down again. So we'll do one more like this as we roll our body backward. And then can we stay in this position? Release your top hand. So in that case, it's my right. And I'm going to make a right angle with my right arm. And then I'm going to slide that arm up the mat and then down, elbow pulling towards the bottom of the mat. And slide the arm up and slide the arm down. And then one more time, slide the arm up. And then as it comes down, lace your 2 fingers together again and then close yourself back in. From here, just a little bit of strength work. We're going to come up onto our forearm position. Knees are going to stay bent. We're going to do a nice big side bend stretch. So I'm going to lift the hips up and go over, creating a nice big Sydney Harbour Bridge shape, and then lowering the body down. And again, pick the hips up and have a nice big side stretch and down. See if you can still keep your eyes looking forward with this one. So don't drop the head down or look up and away from you. So that's number 3. All right, as we come up on this next one, we're just going to come up to about a halfway point. So you're not into the big side bend, more like a plank, and then rotate through. So you'll see there's a lot of twisting motion in my cool down today. And again, wrap and lift, and then one more time, twist through and back up, lowering everything down. Just keep coming with me. I promise I know there's another side to do. From here, I'm going to turn to face towards my hands, so my knees are bent, and I'm twisting gently into the upper body. From here, I'm going to lower myself toward the floor and then bring it up again. So this is a little twisted push-up shape. Lower the chest, lift the chest, and then one more time, lower. And then lift. From here, we're going to bring ourselves up and through. Twist the knees to the other side. Still have the shoulders facing as best as you can forward. And then again, coming down with the chest and pressing up. And again, low and high. And one more time like that, low and high. And then from there, we're going to go down onto the side position again. So in this shape, we're going to go into our big side bend first. So we're going to hover the hips up, stretch the body all the way over, make that big side bend stretch, and then coming back down again. So as you're doing this, you want to feel supported through your underarm and shoulder. So you don't want to feel like you're collapsing your wing of your shoulder blade away from your body. And then one more time, having a nice big reach over, really puffing up the ribs towards the ceiling. This feels so good. And then we're going to come up again about midpoint, so a nice diagonal line, and then we're going to thread that arm through to the back and then back up to the ceiling with your arm and twisting gently in your upper body and facing front. One more time as we send that arm all the way through. And then bringing it all the way back and down we come. So from here, we're going to lace those hands again behind the back of the head. And then feeling your chest turn to face towards the ceiling. And then coming back. I love to do just a balance of both a little bit of, mobility work and then of strength work. And that's really what keeps us feeling good in our bodies, where we have this combination of things going on. Last time, as we go over into the backward position, releasing the left arm into a right angle shape, and then slide the arm up and slide the arm down. And just a couple more like that. Stretch overhead and through, and then one more time, lengthen long and bringing it all the way back. From here, collect the hand behind the head and then close. So a few more to go as we just tip over onto the front of you now and start with your hands just a little further forward than your shoulders. And then from here, we're going to peel the front of the chest up away from the floor. So start with just the ribs touching onto the mat first, and then lowering your body back down. And again, peeling the front of the chest up. The shoulders are sliding down. There's not a lot of effort going on, almost so much so that you could peel the chest up and then keep that shape and just hover the hands, and then you're working the correct amount in your upper back. On this next one, we're going to peel through, and if it's feeling good for you, we just keep pushing through the arms, allowing the front of the body to lift away from the mat surface. Check the shoulders. They want to be drawn down and away from your ears, and then lowering your body back towards the mat. And again, peeling the front of the chest up, gentle shining of your chest bone forward, strong in the arms here. We're not in a push-up shape. We're in a nice curve through the spine. And then one more time as we peel the body up into this lovely long arc of the movement. And then pressing yourself down to the floor again. We're going to just put the hands under the shoulders and press back towards the feet for a nice stretch out through the back body, and then come onto all fours, tucking your toes underneath. From here, we're going to aim the hips towards the ceiling. Keep your knees bent and let your thighs and chest meet each other, and then come back down onto the mat. And again, just pressing backwards. So your arms are lengthening, your legs are still bent. You've got a long shape through your spine and down. And then we're going to go one more time into that position, and it's up to you. Can you lift your hips higher? Can you straighten your legs longer? And you just stay where you can stay, right? So we're pressing down through the index finger and the thumb quite significantly, making little L shapes with those two joints. And then from here, we're going to rise up onto the toes and lower one heel down, and then lift it up and roll the other heel down. So just alternating your heels to the floor. Oh, this should feel so good through the backs of you, into your calves, into your thighs, and all the way up through your spine. And then when you're equal to the two sides, lower the heels down and then bending your knees all the way back to the floor. So I don't want to be here for much longer, so we're going to say that's the end. I know someone else who wants to leave. I hope you enjoyed just working out your body for a little bit of pleasure and feeling really good in yourself. I hope to catch you again soon. Bye.